Hello, everyone. Well, this is an experiment of mine. Um, I'm participating in the Euro Jigsaw Jam 17 in a couple of hours. So I thought I'd get up early and do a little practice. And you're free to join me. If not, I guess I'll just be practicing. Well then, I will hold off on answering comments and questions until after I finish this puzzle, since I'm speed puzzling and I don't want to interrupt my time. Otherwise, I'll see you on the other side. Okay, I should put this sign somewhere more visible. That's not visible at all. Okay, here we go. It's cows. Oh no, I need a sharp object to open this. Alright, I'm not prepared for that. I have to come back and get a sharp object. In competitions these days, they actually pre-cut these stickers for you, so there's no cutting during the competition itself. And I suppose I should have done that before I set up all the puzzles in the mystery bags. But I didn't think of it. Well, we live and learn. Okay, now that's taken care of. Let's go back to puzzling. Here we go. Draw the pieces out. I guess I can talk while I puzzle. So the first thing I'll do is flip all the pieces over. And while I do that, I sneak glances at the box to figure out whether it's worth sorting out the edges beforehand. And given that this is a landscape dish, some of the bottom sides will be hard to. It's a large patch of vegetation, so having the edge to work off is probably useful. So I think I'll let you do that. But first, let's flip everything and then we'll go from there. If you want to leave chats, questions or comments in the chat window in YouTube, I'll be able to see them when I'm done. Space isn't as well lit as my regular practice space, but I can close all the doors so it's quieter and then less likely to get disturbed. So I might start with the edge later. The sky seems an easy to isolate section, so I think maybe I'll start with that and move it out of the way when it's done. looks like I missed some edges. Okay, now comes the hard part. What to work on next? There's the white of the cow. I think that's good. This is a need to start. Meantime, I'll still continue through sky pieces over there. And there's a whole bunch of blue flowers along the bottom and some brown cows. So I can pull those sections out. Blue along the bottom. Tiny blue in this area for faraway flowers. More brown, more white. Alright. Don't want to oversort because I've been guilty of that in the past. Start putting some pieces together. Flowers almost always featured at the walls, the popular puzzles. I don't want to say they didn't have as many. I remember sitting by the sides, watching each round, wondering if that was going to be a full round. So who knows if this year will be the same. But it never hurts to practice it. Okay. Okay, this looks like it's part of the long one. Let's move that there. It's amazing how many pieces get missed on the first sort for me always. I always grab the most obvious ones and then come back later and say, how could I not have seen that one? Alright, since I can, maybe I'll put some of these edges together. I like to bounce around sometimes, gives me a fresh perspective and take a break from getting too burned out on any particular section. Although I may not have gathered enough to really put the bottom edge together. Let's see if there's any more of the white cow left. Looks like most of it is here, so let's see if we can finish putting it together. Although some of this looks like might be the baby cow at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Right. Good enough for now. Oh, that's so hard to stop. Stop and move on. I was avoiding this part, but let's just knock it out. I can do this. I'll eventually have to do all of it, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to avoid it for so long. Cow ear. It's funny how some pieces are just so easy to see, and others are like, I have no idea where this goes. Look at that, a cow face is taking shape. Now the cow fur, come to me. I might have to move a fan in here before the competition starts. It gets warm. Feel free to type your questions or comments into the chat window, and I will address them after I finish puzzling. You can sort of see some now, but I can't really read it since the timer is actually going. There's some brown background over here that I didn't notice. So probably goes over this side. More cow. More cow. What's this cow part? No. This is cow back or cow front? Looks like it was cow back. That's why it wasn't fitting. Alrighty. Let's not remain stuck here for too long. I don't know where this piece goes. It's so hard. Okay. Alright, that connects things. So that is good. Let's try to do this bottom edge again. I keep getting distracted by cow parts. That sounds so weird when you say it. But you know, when you have like a good amount of a portion finished, keep wanting to actually finish it. I'm going to have to move all that down later. But for now, let's try and get this section together. Oh. But maybe it's time to just pull up all the edge. Let's make this area for that. So there's a bunch of red flowers. Looks like they're going that side. Just how you? Here you go. Little pieces. Maybe I should use the box a little more, but I don't spend too much time staring at tiny details. It's a trade-off. A bit faster to just recognize pieces by the shape. I'm sure I study the box a little more. Okay. Let's put together these tree pots. That's still enough. Put down there somewhere. Let's see, 33 minutes. Got a lot of vegetation left to do. This is going to be a bit slow for me. Also, I haven't practiced in quite a few days. So it's a good thing I'm warming up before the competition. I just spent 3 days at a very busy convention for escape rooms. Spent a lot of time talking to friends and meeting new people, and I'm exhausted. In fact, yesterday I didn't do a single thing except recover and try to catch up with email. So I might be moving a little slow today. Oh, I thought I had all the edge pieces out, but apparently not. That's alright. That always happens. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Come here, cows. This one probably goes on this side. Okay, there. That goes together better. That doesn't work. Okay. No, that should not be. And indeed, it is not. So, if you have any suggestions for how I can improve these live streams, today's kind of an experiment. Never done this before. Feel free to leave comments. It occurred to me too late that maybe I should have some background music. I didn't have time to set it up this morning, but I maybe will try that for next time. But if I do that, then nobody can really hear me make random comments as I puzzle. Because my hands will not be free to do anything until after I'm done with this puzzle. Okay. Almost done with this bottom edge. Pretty good. Okay. Stuff is there. This dark forced. Is it correct? Yes. I always forget. These are smaller than I always remember. Okay, that's good. That means this goes here and that goes there, and the bottom edge is done. Alright, okay, the sides. There. Still a piece in there. Some goes there. Let's connect. I've got all this stuff in the center, which is a bad habit of mine. I really should leave the center empty so that when I want to connect things, I don't have to move stuff around. Alright, well, we'll just put it all together and then it'll be empty. That's the idea, isn't it? How do you solve a jigsaw puzzle? Just put all the pieces together. Minutes now. Okay. Not great, but not terrible. It's fur. Fur is not one of my strong suits. But that's why we practice. those in some more. I think I probably need more of those. How am I doing on edge? Alright. Let's put these pieces in. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is taking shape. And there you go. Alright, you are under here. Drinks up. It's there. Let's just mess up cow over here. Something. Trying to do something there. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Never get stuck in one place too long. Is this food? No, it's grass. What is the section I'm looking at here? I honestly don't know. Alright, it's there, it's there. It's there. This has to go, not that way. The cow. Ah, cow paw. That's what it is. Which I would have known if I'd taken a few seconds to look closer at the picture. That is one of my mistakes I always make. Moving so fast, I don't have time to look at the picture. Do I really want to be working on flowers right now? Not sure. The car are kind of in my way. Alright. Let's see. I think it's not edge. It's getting close to. Alright. Vegetation everywhere along the bottom. That's not going to be fun. I like being able to sort sections out clearly, but when it's all grass, flowers, there's no sorting. Just gotta place them. Alright, how about some white flowers? There's some white flowers in the bottom corner. What is this? Is this water? Is there actually a river behind these cows? It might actually be. I don't actually know what this puzzle is called. Maybe something like Buffalo at the watering hole or something. There's another watering hole puzzle a while back. Elephants, maybe? stay here. Cows go whoop, cows go moo. That makes no sense. Okay. Let's figure out how you all fit together. Tufts of grass. There we go. That's good. Just a little more. So we see that grass. Oh, hey, edge. We can come up soon. It's you start leaving this area. Let's just disconnect it and keep it open. Okay. Oh, the purple flowers too. Where are those hiding? No, can't find them. Moving on. Cacti can stay there. Oh, these pieces have a life of mine of their own. No, nope, not gonna move, not gonna move. Okay. Alright, let's see. Maybe I can finish the trees. There's not that many of them. Sometimes I get texture blindness. Everything looks the same. My brain doesn't want to parse them out. Trees are mostly in that area, so surprisingly these pieces are going. I don't know why I expected them to fight me more or something. Definitely a rule of some kind. Oh, let's go back. Definitely need more light in here next time. At some point these cactus petals have to start fitting together. piece of the tree. Let's get it down below. Nice at the top. Yes, this size is pretty much world's size, so I'm going to practice that restriction. Flowers can go down here. I know these are around here somewhere. These are wet flowers. Some cactus. It connects somewhere. Oh, but there. Okay, that is nice. Oh, look, it's actually taking shape. I don't know why it surprises me when things actually come together. Alright, maybe I should pull those down so I can see what I'm looking at here. Here somewhere. Right, you can't see the cat because I'm looking on that. So just leave it there. That's not staying in. Okay. I'll need to change my camera setup for next time. But this is a great. I'm learning. This is an experiment. Thank you all for coming along with me on this experiment. Somewhere. I'm going to lend this to our friends later so you can get some times to compare. This one's challenging. So much vegetation and so much fur. That's pretty much all it is, isn't it? Plants and cows. Right? No, I don't think so. Here we go. Can we go to that side now? Let's stay here. Where's the shells from production? I always lift my hand this way so I don't accidentally pull pieces off that's stuck to me. Maybe I need to finish some of these so clear some space. Not sure. Wait. Oh, you're there. Let's try this up. Usually there's adequate light, I don't need to put these glasses on, but as I'm learning, it's kind of dark in here. And this is a dark puzzle. So, let's keep going. Yep, it's making a difference. So there's a dark area of cow, dark area of trees. Whew. That's one thing I feel I'm not good at, is immediately knowing what kind of puzzles are difficult from looking at the box, which at Worlds presents a problem when you have to select 2 out of 4 puzzles, for example. That's a mechanic they use for their teams a couple times in a row. I can't remember if they did it again this year. But at least in teams, then I hope my team members are better than me at this. Okay. It's taking some good shape. What is this hard white line? Cow? Nope. Oh, there it is. It's just the tedious part. Everything's dark, everything's vegetation, the flowers all look the same. It's definitely in this area. Okay. Clearly that section is hard for me. Leave that for now. Time is it's 9 o'clock. The competition I'm participating in starts at 10 o'clock, so a little under an hour. After I finish this, which should not take another hour, I hope, I'll take a small break and do a smaller, about 300 piece puzzle set aside that I can quickly knock out, maybe. But for now, let's put flowers and cows together. Okay. Let's come in place. Put a little of the cactus together now. That should help. Alright. I preach about good posture all the time, but right now I have terrible posture. Can I actually be heard? I didn't quite do a sound check before I started this. If you hear me, maybe put a comment in the chat, please. I'll take a glance at it. Maybe not. Alright, well, another thing to fix for next time. And this is go it's all black. You shall wait to the end. This is doing well. Now let's see if I can finish up any of the leaf section. I guess right. That definitely goes there. You plants. Alright, fine. Don't go there. Yes, I do occasionally talk to my puzzles. I keep picking up that piece. When me and Yvonne puzzle together, we have a concept called puzzle jail, so that we don't keep trying the same pieces over and over and hand them to each other. And the other person tries it because, you know, fresh eyes, different skill sets. Sometimes I feel like I need a puzzle jail for myself. Come back to it later, much later. What is this piece? It's just black. It looks like you should go there, but no, you go on the other side. Okay. Coming down to just blue flowers. Oh boy, so much fun. Where's that piece? Maybe not as easily visible. Alright. What's left? What's left? Now I'm trying to pick up the parts. It's a little more black, a little more brown, a little more grassy, which are details I would not normally pay attention to, but at this point, that's all you have. It's kind of like when you do an all-white puzzle, for example. You start going down to the minutiae of the clues. This one's a little bit more red. I still haven't found where those cocoa flowers are. Oh, maybe here. Maybe there too. There's 2 yellow flowers here. There's a few here. Okay. Yes. Yes, all the yellow flowers go there. Except for the 2 that are there. And then now there's some teeny tiny yellow flowers, so I think those go in the background. And some circles. Yep. Dark red. Where'd you go? Bright red. So I'll come down to the reds. Shadows. More shadows. I like sorting by shape because it takes away time. Sometimes in a team you do it, and some other people, as at the end there's no space for all the hands, so some hands stand outside doing useful things. I'm missing a piece. It might be in the bag. Right, close enough. There we go. There's my missing piece. It's on the floor. Oh, there it is. Under the box. Oh. Ooh. Thank you. All right. Oh, 1:15:05. Let's take a picture of that. Hello, everyone. Oh, the 7 of you watching. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. So this puzzle, it's called Loving Longhorns, and I think it's made in Germany, so I don't know if it's easy to find locally in the US. And it doesn't say what year it was released, but it's a new one because you can tell it's a newer box where the picture is not obscured by the triangle or the piece shape. It's smaller and it uses the plastic stickers, and I wasn't prepared. I had to go grab my scissors, but all good. It's a very dark puzzle. Where did those go? It was, yes, Joey, it was rough. We did the sky fairly easily, did a bit of the cows, and then everything else was blue flowers or dark areas. But if it's tough in practice, maybe it'll be easier in Worlds. There's only 4 weeks left to Worlds. So it'll be fun. All right, this is a good practice. Let's see. I still have another 40 minutes before Euro Jigsaw Jam starts. I should not do another 500 piece, but I do have a 300 piece. I can probably finish that half an hour if I'm lucky. All right. I don't really have a way to take picture of myself. See, yeah, works well. All right, time to put it away. Did I take a picture of it? I did. Let's take a picture of the time. Let's see. Let's put those times aside for now. All right, so next will be this one. Feel free to drop a comment saying where you're watching from. If you're a puzzler, just interested in puzzles, or if you're a speed puzzler that I might see at Worlds. This is not a brand that will be at Worlds. You'll all be Ravensburger puzzles, but just practicing is very good for getting the mechanics of flipping and sorting textures. So, Portland, Oregon. Oh, Jessica, you're going to be at Worlds. I look forward to meeting you. Definitely come and say hi. And hi, Rose from Oregon. Okay. Did I miss anything? All right, time to start the next one so I can have some time before the competition starts. All right, here we go. Oh, a poster. Oh, it's a big piece. This is going to move it on the table. Here we go. Maybe I'll start with sky because it's nice and distinct. And then after that, maybe the waters easily pull up. But it might be mess because it stretches across the whole width of the picture. The bottom orange brown, actually that should be fairly easy to pull up as well. Okay, that will give me some direction. So for a 300-piece puzzle, I should be able to fit everything in under 2 minutes. Let's see how long it takes. It's very important to build up ambidextrousness, ambidexterity. Because you have two hands, and if only one hand's doing flipping, it's half as fast. Oh, Rose, you're going to be at Worlds too. I will look forward to meeting you. Thank you for joining me today. Let's see, all right, sky. The palm trees make it fairly distinctive. Oh, you can't really see on camera. All right, well, you know I'm doing that. Okay, and let's put the orange to go at the bottom. Also, a lot of people complain about back pain when they puzzle for too long. I used to be a dancer, and what I've learned is very important to keep your back straight so you don't cause strain on the skeleton. So when I stand up, I always lean over it instead of hunching over. I don't know if you can see it really. But if anybody is experiencing back pain, that will help a lot, I think. There's a lot of sails on this side. Let's take a quick look. That's why a poster is important. Buffalo blocks part of the picture. Let's see. There's not enough space for this puzzle. That's alright. It's just for practice. Top is almost done. Sail pieces out of the way. It's very distracting. Alright. I guess I could throw mountains up top. Also, there's white building. I guess it's the buildings are down below. I did say I'll start with the orange ground, and I still think that's a good place to start, so let's play those out. There's a seawall of some kind. Help me orient pieces. Horses. Okay. This. Right. Okay, there are brown pieces. I missed you some. Oh, grown too. Oh, flowers are grown on the ground. Great floral sections. I guess. I threw the poster on that side. I will work with what I have. This is Upper Coast. I wish I got most of this. I should be able to put it mostly together. Let's see. Flowers. Maybe that red roof is distracting. I could do that red roof. Okay. This here. That's fine. Let's go together. Nice. There we saw. Okay, good. The bottom section is only 3 pieces high. Here. Nope. Something else. Let me see. There we go. Let's see that. there. This belongs to here. The yellow flowers go to the edge. Take that up. I think this goes over here. Yes. And all these pieces. And I just not see. Oh, no, I see. It's so weird that when you finish with the puzzle, everything looks so obvious, but when I'm doing it, I don't recognize these pieces at all. So right now, I need some horses on the yellow background. Where's the yellow background not jumping out at me? Alright, no time to think about that. Let's move these down into where to go. Thank you. This one goes here. This should be. Oh, here's some big white house. It's 3 pieces high over there, but only 2 pieces high over here, so everything just joins. How did I miss that for so long? Well, I guess when you're going too fast and don't stop to think about things. Okay, it's almost time just thinking about this water section. Oh, how pretty. There's a fountain there. That's what these are. Town up top. This here. Okay. Here's the American flag sign over here. Okay. Alright. Pieces everywhere. Maybe it's time to start more sales. Alright, maybe the edge frame first. A little bit. Another American flag, that's probably on a foot supply. boats here. Space management. Okay, this should be on that side now. There we go. All right. Where's the next? Alright, let's try this. Oh, it's all white. I don't know sails well, so I don't know which way these cables are going. Not sure if it's not idea to work on these right now. But let's try. Gotta do something. Everything needs to be done eventually. Maybe this would be easier if I actually knew books. I suppose any puzzle would be easier if you knew the subject matter. Where's the American flag? This one's coming together nicely. Ah, I should have been using the water background so clean. I always miss some of the most obvious clues when it comes to solving puzzles sometimes. Thank you again for joining me, hanging out while I speak puzzle practice. Feel free to drop comments and questions in the chat and I will get to them when I finish with this. Okay, let's see. So, trying to do all the sailboats now. We should come down here. And you should go up there. So this will be down here. No, that was correct the first time. A smaller boat. No. Good jump. Yeah. You can see I got a top edge going up here. There's two small boats. There's two boats here, and it's that one. And the other sails. I think I may have gotten most of the sails done. What's this? let's do it. Okay, let's do the bolt itself. Where does the American flag goes? Oh, I'll find it. Where's the seal pole? Okay, here. Does this connect? No. Which bolt is this? There we go. I know you connect. Oh, still something from pretend. Okay. there's a short release. Time is 9:48. All right. Almost time to get ready for the other competition. Let's see if we can finish this real quick. Okay. One goes down there. This one looks over here. Half is over here-ish. Finally, the bottom part's done, long enough. Alright, I'm standing up because of the glare. Just glare, let's change the angle. It's because of the light, the way the light's hitting the puzzle. And that's the last piece. So 30 minutes. All right. Time to log in for the other puzzle. That one's also streaming on the Euro Jigsaw Jam live stream. But let's take a quick picture of this. And then I can clear it away. Put it in the back later. Alright. There's people online already. And this is the Princess Puzzle. Let's log in.
You have to pop in when you would have time. So, yeah, I'm going to wait a bit before I film the form, but I'm definitely excited about that.
That's really great. Also, congratulations on the successful Trier. It sounded like just a wonderful event across the board.
Oh, thanks. It was, quite stressful the first 2 hours. So there, I arrived at 7 o'clock and the event was kicking off at around 9. The first competition was at 10 and we needed 88 tables and we had sent off the floor plan and they had told us that we have 60 tables upstairs. Well, no, they said we have about 55 tables upstairs and we could fit 35 tables downstairs. And I got there and like 20 tables were missing.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay, breathe, okay. And my husband was coming in another car. I had my car full of stuff and he was coming with the kids and our volunteers. And so he was coming about 20 minutes later and then I was like, slowly walked up to the reception desk and I was like, there seems to be like 20 tables missing. Where can we get them from? Oh, we don't have any more tables. And I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, every person needs a table. We have 88 people and we need to, we're starting a competition in 2 hours. So we took the tables from the puzzle swap room. But that meant the live stream started a bit late and we were going to count down both rooms at the same time, but one room ended up starting earlier. But other than that, it was fine.
I mean, if the shakiest thing was just like the initial couple hours there, that sounds fantastic. I don't think a lot of people know how many moving pieces go on throughout a day of competition and everything. So being able to have the engine run that smoothly after that point, is just phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it was quite interesting. Like for me, I was like, oh no, people are going to be really disappointed. Like it seems like like we're scrambling and people are going to be thinking, oh, this is really badly organized. But I had people come up to me at the end and they were like, this was so well organized. And I was like, wow, really? But they said from all the venues, people had been to other competitions. They said that this venue had really good lighting and really good tables, and yeah, so that was encouraging to hear. So I'm thinking already, maybe we should do some more. My husband is like, do you see how much work this is? Like, it's so much easier to do competitions. I'm like,
It would be easier to do there's a lot to be said for it, but there is something really fun about going in and the like solo or the individual rounds say go, and after the initial flip, it just sounds like rain in the room with people putting a piece in at a time. And a lot of people kind of focusing in, and then the change in energy whenever it's a pairs and people are talking a little more, and then teams where it's a lot more frantic and running around. So just the energy in the room is different. And I think, having a good balance of, online things are great, but also in-person ones, if you can make it, are really, really important too.
Yeah, I think we can't. I think we need to have some in-person events. There's nothing quite like it, but I do understand now, having done it, that there is just so much more organization to take care of. Yeah, well, it's 3 minutes to 7, and we have 66 people connected in the live, so it looks like we're ready to go. And
we have a lot of well wishes and good lucks from people on YouTube right now. Jana has submitted to be a volunteer. Jana saying, I will cheer for them, everybody, because every puzzler rocks, whether they make it in the 2-hour cutoff or not. So a lot of fans out there. Mandy is saying we had a ton of fun on Sunday. Thank you, Michelle. And Quinta's in there wishing everybody good luck. This is gonna be a fun one. It's a pretty star-studded lineup of some of the top puzzlers. So it's a bit of a world's preview here on this. And all of those puzzles are still wrapped up. I can't get over how it feels like a present the way that they're set up this way.
Okay, so Arcadia says that his camera has died. Okay, try and fix it. We'll start with the unwrapping, and hopefully you find a solution, Arcadius. So everyone, you may take your mystery puzzle and unwrap. Let's see what we have today.
Man.
It's a Schmidt. I was wrong.
I'm really excited. What fresh madness have you unleashed upon them this time, Michelle?
It's very fitting to the Euro Jigsaw Jam.
There's jam all over it.
Trying to zoom in on. Oh,
this looks like fun.
It's a lot of jam.
It's the colors. Let me take the plastic off.
I love a good pun reference.
Oh, size 500.
I feel like I'm
Don't
not
have any with me
signing dad jokes here. All right, so it looks like everyone is ready. Arcadius's camera is working again. Yes, sorry. Let's take the plastic off. You may remove the plastic wrap.
It allows you to get in there just a little bit sooner.
It's really exactly the same size as the old style Ravensburgers. I really do not have any in this room. They're all in my practice area. Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. You can see a lot of the puzzlers like sort of coiling their energy for the countdown.
Okay, let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3. Oh, sorry, I see someone still. Ireland's still getting the plastic off.
3 days ago, there was a really great puzzle people were working on. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Ireland, you're ready. So it looks like everyone else ready to go. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty. And we're off and out the gate right away. And this is where it's going to be really exciting. We have a bunch of top puzzlers on the call. Alejandro, Kristen, the whole squad of people that if you met in a puzzle alley, you probably wouldn't want to face outright. But this is going to be really, really cool. The Schmidt puzzle has all of these jams on it. Michelle's holding them up there. A lot of different colors up along the top. It looks like there's this sort of hanging celebratory sign running over the thing. There's a little clock in one side. There's a lot of small elements throughout this, and so this is the kind of puzzle that might favor people that are really good at things that are moderately busier, where they can pick out individual elements a little bit more than people that specialize in gradients.
Yeah, so here you have like a
I'm a
lot of
gradient
berries,
person.
so like the strawberries
Oh,
in
no,
multiple
this-
places. Some of these like
Piece
strawberries like
fall down.
sitting on the shelf. Yeah,
well,
so
okay,
this is like an old-fashioned scales, and then we have like some cookbooks. We also have different like wooden spoons and different wooden instruments around, flags going along the top. I only know the word for this in German. This is called a Winkelkette. I can't think what the word is in English. And then we have like lace in the background, so it's like almost like a lace tablecloths. So kind of good old-fashioned fields of nice jams being made by grandma.
Glasses.
Oh wow, yeah. And that's really cool too. There's some of those like wooden paddles, some of those wooden spoons that are all over the place. I think some of the tricky parts in here might be that like lace off background, but a good discerning eye might be able to figure out which one of those goes where. I can see why this is probably going to be a pretty fast puzzle, because the way the elements are set up, you could make some pretty rapid pulls and get going on this. We're just over 2 minutes into this, and you're going to see some puzzlers begin building right away after their flip. You're usually looking for a flip time for the top puzzlers that's around 3 minutes, plus or minus a little bit, depending on if they're going to pull the edge initially or if they're going to make some other target right away.
Yeah, so on the screen we have Alejandro from Spain, who's actually visiting his grandparents this week, so he's in a different location, different table. Then we have Alex from the UK, Anke from Germany, Amy from the UK, Annalise from Belgium, who happened to be on Tree last weekend with her team and did very well, and Annemie from Switzerland and her unicorns. She's been climbing some mountains, so is taking a break from puzzling, and happy to see her back.
Oh yeah, and you can see already several people starting to do their build. Their flip is complete. Go into town right away. Alejandro starting to pull out little chunks here and there. It looks like Alexandria there is doing a pretty hefty pull, and this is where there's always a little bit of a trade-off of you might be slower getting pieces together early on, but you're going to make up that time since it's already pulled out. It's also fun seeing which kinds of tables people use. There seems to be a preference for a lot of brown background on this one, which is kind of interesting because at Worlds, where a lot of people are preparing for, we know that there's going to be that white background on top of it. So getting comfortable with different backgrounds can help your eye kind of get the feeling of the contrast in there as you go.
So here's Arcadius from Poland, Astrid from Denmark, Aurora from Norway, and Ireland from Argentina.
I'm really excited to see all the puzzlers from Poland. It's going to be a really strong country showing at Worlds, I think. All those Polish players as they come through. And you can see Acadius there has a really large spread out pile of pieces up to one side and is then working from there outside of it. You'll compare that a little bit to anime there, where it's sort of a rainbow spread and pulling down into the field. Different tactics for different strategies, which is fascinating to see as people go through there. And part of that's also related to what your table size is, right? You can see that Aurora there has a much more rectangle shaped table, and so she's trying to spread things out laterally a little bit more, and that might slow her down a little bit just because of the extra distance going left and right. But if she gets some good pulls, that won't be too big of a problem for her. Logic Master Steve says that he thinks that this puzzle favors Vicky, who tends to pick and place pieces, and thinks that Vicky could be in the top 10 today, which is really hard with the competition that's in there. Absolutely. This is the kind of puzzle that people that do this Dead Reckoning process, where they spend a little extra time early to focus on a piece and use the image to perfectly place it, and then building out from there. It can really give them an advantage.
And it looks like that's what Claudia is doing. I mean, she's already placed pieces in the middle of, looks like she's pulled out some yellow flags and placing them where they belong roughly. There's also some pink, there's a pink and white striped towel, or maybe it's a curtain hanging down. You can see that on the left side, there's like a pink and purple strip where she's started to assemble. So it looks like she's also going for the pick and place method, whereas Christina is sorting by color. So she's working on the yellows and has a pile of orange as well. So on the screen, we have Camilla from Denmark. I believe this is Camilla's first time to join us. Then we have Chiara, who is a very familiar speed puzzler for most of us. And then we also have Christina from Denmark and Claudia from Germany. So one reason why I think this is a fast puzzle is because I did it in the first time in 1 hour and 35 seconds, which is one of my fastest times. But the funny thing is that it was very unideal conditions. We were on the ferry going from Calais to Dover, and it was so it wasn't rocking back and forth, but it was vibrating the whole time. And basically the trip was 1.5 hours, and I said, great, perfect, that's enough time for a speed puzzle. So I brought up like a small puzzle board with me and the puzzle, and went to the Irish pub where they had like circular tables, placed my puzzle board on there and just went for it. And yeah, I was really surprised that I did that with people all around me. I could hear the conversations with the people next to me, people coming and going. And yeah, so I did do it twice after that, and got my personal best time, 47 minutes. So excited to see what our top speed puzzlers will do today.
Yeah, that's congrats on a great time, Michelle, by the way. I am curious for those watching on YouTube, what times do you think that you're going to see finishers on in this one? I know everybody is hoping and excited that at some point there's going to be a sub 30 500 piece solo time. I don't think that it's impossible on this one. It might be a little tricky because Schmidt has, even though it's a ribbon cut, sometimes the lines are a little off, and that can throw people off if they're not super familiar with the brand in a way. So that might slow some people down just enough to not quite break that sound barrier. We can see Alejandro has put in the left side of that puzzle is like grinded out those purples pretty solidly, and is hopping around to a couple of different projects. Some guesses: 34 minutes, 35. Yeah, we know that some of these top puzzlers they have PRs that are in the sub 35 range, and this could hit it if they're in a good zone. Logic Master Steve going for the 37:15 right there, trying to really nail it down.
So here's Zanika from the Netherlands, Dietmar from Germany, Ellen from the Netherlands. Ellen and her family were also in Trier on Sunday. And we have Amelia from Finland, Amelia Korhonen. So it's funny, my daughter and I were doing pairs, and next to us was Ellen and Stein. And because the way the tables were done, the pairs were side by side as opposed to opposite. And we started the pairs competition, and then like I was so focused on doing my own puzzle, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should look over and see what Ellen is doing. And then like I just took a glance over, and I was like, oh no, she's done like all the so I had started to collect the top blue water pieces, and hers was like already like done. I was, oh, okay, I'll just go back and look at my own one now. So it is a funny feeling, like seeing how others are doing at the same time. Yeah, but Ellen did really well. She was in the top 10 in solo, pairs, and in teams. So she had a very successful day.
Oh, that's wonderful. It is always hard whenever you're in person to not get distracted and see other people's puzzles or where they're at in there, and sort of slow yourself down and going, oh, am I approaching this puzzle incorrectly? Am I taking a slower route on here? And that's always a risk you run into. And even on these, you can run into that a little bit. You can run into that a little bit, just based off of the fact that you can hear other people talking. If you're listening to the stream, sometimes you'll hear us be all excited about different people that are cruising on this. I certainly expect to see some sub 40 times on here, without too much trouble. I know a couple of people have done this one before. So we might see some pretty good speed on here. Oh, Jana with the 37-minute, 24 seconds, 75 millisecond. Great. Mystery Man at 38.50. I think there's a good shot at 35 minutes or under on this one. It's looking pretty quick. We can see here Kiara has a good chunk of her edge knocked out. And on a 500-piece puzzle, a whole edge is 86 pieces, so you're down well over 10% of your puzzle right there. So even though it doesn't look like the puzzle's filled in, you're getting a lot done that way.
Yeah, I like how, she's kind of looking quite similar to Alejandro. They both seem to be working on the flags. You can see these little islands appearing, and they both have the pink and purple border on the left side filled in. So also on screen, we have Franziska from Germany. Franziska and her sister, Ricarda, were in Trier as well. Also here on screen is Gillian from the UK, Hannah from Finland, and Inga from Germany. And we can see on Gillian has quite an extensive Lego collection, it looks like.
So he's very, very used to piecing things together, even in 3D, not just 2D. Could serve him well here as he goes through. Looks like he's doing that similar, like outside and then placing some things in the middle.
It's quite an impressive hobby room. Yeah, so Hannah is going strong, but more focusing on the lower section with these the scales and the green bolts. And Inga is doing well. She's working on the border.
Yeah, I always like watching people's the way people pick up pieces in this early mid game of a puzzle. Like, do they start using mostly their fingertips to pick up pieces, or are they using their whole hand to grasp things and sort of rotating their whole wrist as just to the end of their fingers? Because it kind of tells you, are they doing a big load of pieces and dropping them all off, or are they really going one by one quickly as they go through here? It's always a fun thing to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so here you see this pink and white striped border area. And then we see a lot of people are starting here with this green. This also stuck out to me when I was flipping pieces over. I saw this dark green area, and I also saw the scales. So.
Yeah. Those flags are they're nice and small and concentrated, so they might stick out on the pieces. The question is it going to be tricky to try to find them and put them in the right spot, or do you run into a situation where because they're spread out, you end up working in 3 or 4 different places at once. All of speed puzzling is, in my view, it's a game of optimizations, right? Like what's going to cut a little more time over the course of 500 over the course of 500 steps. That's going to help you be just that much faster than somebody else.
So here's Inga from the Netherlands. Now she was our solo winner in Trier. She did really well. So she took home one of the Euro Jigsaw Jam puzzle pals, the little wooden trophies. But it was very close. Like in the solo and pair categories, like the winning times were like, I think that in one of them it was like between the first, second, and third there was like 20 seconds and 9 seconds. So really, really close. But she did very well. And Jens Asker, that's actually Iris Bakker from Denmark, using a different device. But wow, really impressed with Iris. I mean, she's got the cookbooks done, she's got some of the jams done, and you can see these nice islands that are going to be joined together on the lower half of the picture. That's
and Iris there is doing this cool thing where has foregone the edge and is just building out from the middle. It has made a really big space to work in, and so it's a thing of doing those smaller groups and then working your way out, sort of sunbursting away from the islands in order to build everything. It's a fun tactic. It's a fun tactic to use, and it saves you a little time early on where you're not touching all of the extra edge pieces to get going. But the question is, does it end up being a thing of not having sort of a space or the grid line set up in order to place things spot on?
So we also have Johanna and Jukka from Finland, and we see something that Jukka has done before. He has a tray out and separates out some pieces so that he can focus more clearly on these ones and not be distracted by the others spread out on the page, spread out on the board.
Yeah, puzzling trays are being used more often in the solo divisions. In the pairs and the teams, they're pretty common. In the individual divisions, it's starting to be used a little bit more, just to help clear the field of things that you may not want to work on right away, or that you can target easy and then drop in if it's a pretty high number of pieces. You can load up that tray and go, okay, I'm going to work on these real quick, and then if you get stuck, you can set it aside. So we're starting to see a little bit more use of that in the individuals, even though it's not quite as common. Take another look at Iris there, really flying through that middle. Piece count wise, it's a little tricky to say who's in the lead. I think Iris might be up there with Chiara at the moment. Alejandro has a huge swath across the middle and most of his left edge. So I think right now those three might be in the lead here. Yeah, looking over, Chiara's also Chiara has her full edge complete and also has those flags across, almost completely done. So maybe about 15 pieces behind Alejandro at this stage. I always get a kick out of watching how Alejandro's hands just sort of flit and fly over top of all of the pieces. He very rarely uses his whole hand to rotate and flip around, which is really, really fascinating. We can see Inga going piece by piece, and this is where if you watch people's left hands, you can kind of get the sense of, are they using it like a more as an extra board and holding it flat and putting pieces on it, or are they picking pieces up and then dispensing them into their dominant hand in order to drop in? I know some puzzlers are right-handed or left-handed. If I remember correctly, there's somebody who says that they're right-handed in all the rest of life, but then they puzzle left-handed, which I think is just fascinating.
So thanks, Catherine, for pointing out that the screen was not showing correctly. Hopefully it's better now.
Yeah, it's a little more adjusted. There we go.
Okay, so the time is 20 minutes, so I'm going to hurry on through the rest of our participants that we get more people on the screen, because you're probably wondering how Kristen is doing. So here we have Katrin from Switzerland, Kirsty from Finland, and Kristen from Norway.
Now I know Kristen's board looks pretty clean right now, in the middle. But what we didn't see earlier is that she was building out from all of the flip pieces right in that area. So she was sort of building out from this chaos into what's this beautifully clean board the way it is now, which is really fascinating because a lot of times people make space and then build into the space. And Kristen just decided to go, nah, this is fine. I'll work out from where it is there. And she's doing really well. And she's almost as the inverse of going of what the others have done, where she started from the bottom after getting that edge in and is working her way up. Looking around, Kristen's looking good, very good. Christy using the image, using that box image to find a piece and place it right away, which is sort of that perfect placement technique that's really, really strong.
So Katrin from Switzerland is quite used to Schmidt puzzles. She may have already done this one. The Swiss Championships at the end of September will be using Schmidt puzzles. And I know she ordered herself a stack of Schmidt puzzles.
It's always fun to see what people prepare for Worlds with. Yeah, Shannon, focusing on the non-dominant hand is pretty important, and it becomes a thing of what are you using that other hand for? Are you using it to transfer pieces? Or are you using it to rotate something while your other hand is putting things in? It becomes a thing where the more you can use it as a tool to do something rather than just a loose hand, it can be a little helpful for you.
Okay, so we also have Laura from the UK, Laureen from France, and Linda from the Netherlands. And Laura has quite a nice stack of world training puzzles there.
It reminds me of those photos of students that take pictures of all of the books that they have whenever they go to graduate, because that's all the knowledge that's then stuffed into their head. And yes, Logic Master Steve, Iris is the Jens Ask. It's just the name is a little flip there. And it looks like who's that on the right? Linda?
Yeah.
Looks like they're doing a really a similar thing to Kristen of sort of that splotchy build chunks in through the middle process, which is really excellent. It looks like Lorraine has that whole edge and is starting to work in on those some of those middle splotches.
Yeah, I like how Linda has you can see some structure there already. You can see she's done most of the flags and the other piece is kind of hanging off that. So she's got the top middle section anchored. Very nice to see.
Yeah. Doing a quick check. Kristen might be slightly in the lead here over Kiara, just in terms of overall pieces in, because more of that bottom is squared away, and I think some of that flag is going to be pretty straightforward for her to rip together.
So here's Magda from Poland, Maggie from Austria, and Maita. I can't find a registration from Maita, but I'm guessing from the name, probably the Netherlands. Oh, sorry, Belgium. Sorry, you were there. My apologies. So, I'd like to point out Maggie. Maggie is a very consistent speed puzzler in the Euro Jigsaw Jams. she's placed very respectably between 11 and 13 multiple times. So always kind of knocking at the door of the top 10 and training very hard. And her best time was in a Euro Jigsaw Jam was 48 minutes 15, and she's consistently around the 50-minute mark. So I think, so she's one of the founding members of the Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club.
Oh, fantastic! And it's hard to I mean, you know, Michelle, it's hard to juggle running an association while also trying to do all the practice for puzzling to get better. And it seems that Maggie's done a really good job of juggling that. She might be able to get a new PR today. It looks like she has those flags all the way across the middle squared away and has that edge built. So there's some really good structure and islands for her to start building off of. So if she's able to keep those small targeted poles and can build some of those jams in, she's going to be just fine.
So Steve asks, is Maggie the only participant from Austria today? No, we also have Verena. We'll get to her soon. And interesting, Maita is using a black background, which actually works for this one because we only have light areas. We have a lot of white pieces, and that's going to really help at the end, because in the end you're probably going to have white furniture. So there's the white shelf, white lace, white curtains, and like the white gaps in between. So I think that will really help later on.
Contrast goes a long, long way. Oh, wow. You can see Alejandro has, it looks like he has almost 3 different piles going, one to the side, one above, and one to the right hand. And, you know, a lot of conventional wisdom is try not to split the puzzle piles too much. But if you know exactly what is in each zone, it can make your life easier. So if you're sorting as you go or putting things that are important, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, so I realized we're at 27 minutes. I really have to hurry up to get through everyone. So we have Maria from Slovakia, who, she and her daughter and 2 friends flew all the way from Slovakia to Luxembourg and came by to Trieste. So they also had a successful trip. They won some prizes as well in the pairs. Maria and her daughter received a prize for the pairs category. And now we also have Maria from Switzerland and Miriam from the Netherlands.
Oh, congrats on the great job of Trier, and it looks like off to a pretty solid go here, getting those islands squared away. Miriam has that full edge built, doing a great job with those flags across, and that's going to give a good toehold into the second and into the later half of this puzzle.
So here's Mary from Germany, Mooney from Germany, Nana from Denmark, and Netta from Finland. Netta was second at the Finnish championships.
Yeah,
she did say she's had a break from speed puzzling for a while. So yeah, now's the time. 30 days until the Worlds. Here we go, Netta. Get back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it's a great time to shake off that rust and get back into it. A lot of people end up taking a couple of days break just to open things up a little bit. It does look like Alejandro and Kristen are sort of headed into their last 100 pieces or so. So we're going to see them accelerate here shortly. And they almost have very similar patches remaining, which is pretty fascinating, even though they started in different ways. Yeah, this sort of close is always tricky to try to parse out, because your brain starts going, do I look for elements or do I look for shape to try to fill in here? Do I have a few enough pieces that I can just randomly grab a couple and drop them exactly where they go? Do I have that image in my head solid enough to just blaze through this last little bit here? Or do I need to be a little more cautious for just a little longer?
So here's Olivia from Denmark, Rebecca from the US, Rivka from Finland, and Ulrika from Denmark.
And Becca Taylor there doing a really great job. Has the full edge, a line across the middle, and some of the lower half squared away. We should point out she's on crutches today and filling in for somebody else. So she's fighting through a lot of adversity and doing a really, really fantastic job.
And here's Rowan. We have to keep an eye on Rowan because twice we've missed the finishes. But very strong puzzler from the Netherlands and the number one solo from the Dutch Championship. Also, a lot here now is just filling in the gaps. There's a lot of structure in there, a lot of shelves filled in, and now, plugging in those gaps. We also have the two Zanas on screen, Sana Susoloto and Sana Barbas Tanskanen from Finland.
They're both doing a fantastic job there. Rowan looks like he's maybe 150 pieces out. Similar sort of thing. We're seeing a lot of people doing the patchwork approach of find the items and put them in. Really, really exciting finish coming in here.
Okay, but we're still not through, everyone. We're up to the S's now, and I still know there's like Fiesta comments at the end. Gonna get a surprise when we get there. So Sarah from Sweden, Saka from Czech, and Siobhan from Ireland. And Saka was twice in the top 10 for a Jigsaw Jam. So she's also one to watch.
Doing a fantastic job. Kristen and Alejandro are neck and neck right here. I think Kristen might be slightly ahead. It's kind of hard to see if there's a couple extra pieces floating around up top. But they're both just going blitzing. Every piece they pick up just goes right in. It's like watching rainfall.
So Steffi B from Germany, Steffi H from Germany, Tammy from the US, and Taya from Finland. So we can see the time very clearly on Tammy's, 32 minutes 43. So we're getting down to about 20 pieces for Alejandro and Kristen. Are very close.
Yep, into the fray here. And this is where you can see Kristen using that left hand to pick up a piece to feed it to her right hand. Alejandro does a similar tactic here, and he's also starting to as he picks up a piece and puts it back, and he's not sure where it goes. He tries to line it up a little bit so that way he knows exactly which thing is where the next time he goes back to that. Wow, this is going to be close.
Okay, I've just been told by Ingrid, Alexandra Osterberg, I think that's Alex, your camera's not working. Please fix that. I know Alex logged in with a different name. It's Alex Hefford. Okay, so we also have Tobias, who's also, nearing the end, very close. We have Verena. Vesna is also live streaming today, so if you want a closer look, check out.
Alejandro's on the last 5 pieces. He just blitzed through that last chunk. And Alejandro, I think he's finished, yes. Sure looked like it.
Oh, congratulations, Alejandro.
And Kristen,
moments that we did.
That was a fantastic finish.
So according to the timestamp, they were both at 7:35 p.m., but possibly like 10 seconds in between. Really close finish, really close. So now we have Victor on the screen, who came second last time.
Congratulations to both Alejandro and Kristen. That was amazing.
I want to go back to Vicky because this is a big couple puzzle and I had to. Okay.
Yes. I do enjoy watching Tobias puzzle because it's very methodical and consistent. You'll see a lot of puzzlers. They'll go through spurts of putting several pieces in and then nothing happens for a little bit, and then they come back and put some more in. Whereas Tobias is very, this goes in, now this goes in. It's a very rhythmic sort of set.
Okay, so it looks like Danica has about 40 pieces left. Kiara and Rowan a bit more. And Tobias's are all spread out over the table, whereas you can see Tobias, you're not in the zone. Pull those pieces in. They're not in the zone. Look, Vicky is right there. Oh, Vicky's got some pieces outside.
Yeah,
but that's very
Vicky
good
has
practice.
a little ways to go, but is using those guidelines to try to keep the spacing good. Kiara's looking pretty strong here. She has maybe about 75 pieces to go, but a lot of it is pretty boxed in. So she's going to accelerate through this next chunk. Yeah, it's always interesting what tactics you use once you get into those last 100 pieces or so, because part of it depends on if you have a big gap in the puzzle versus if it's mostly boxed in and you can just blaze through it using just pure shape work. That gives you a really strong assessment there.
So I think we were about 34 minutes. Sorry, I didn't look at the time at the time it finished. According to the chat record, I started at 1 minute past 7 and they finished at 35 minutes past 7. So we're looking at about 34 minutes, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's truly phenomenal to get that on a first time puzzle if you've not seen it before. Being able to do all of that analysis of what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and then be able to physically execute it in that time is just amazing. Tobias using that one by one process, just getting them in little by little. Kiara is heading into her close as well, which is fantastic. You can see on Kiara's board because she doesn't have large like circular blocks. Most of the things that are left are kind of in a line. She's going to be able to zip right through this the last several pieces here.
So I think contending for third place is Danica, Kiara, and Victor. They all have about 20 pieces left. Possibly Tobias as well, but they're so spread out, it's hard to see.
Yeah. Victor might be a little behind here. Is certainly going to be a top 10 finisher. Danique looks pretty strong. If she can accelerate a little bit, just get that physical speed up, she might be able to catch up to Kiara here. Ingo looking pretty strong, has ways to go.
The enemy's doing really well. Enemy's got like less than 20 pieces.
Yeah. Anime's going to be doing really well here. She's also she's picked up her physical space a little bit. You see that some people are whenever they're not leaning on the table, they can put more of their motion straight into their hands in order to get those pieces in. Sometimes if you lean on the table, it takes that extra little bit of time to lean off of the table and go grab a piece and come back. This is going to be a close one.
Hannah is about 25 pieces. Enemy less than 10. And Kiara, last piece for third place. Well done.
Congrats, Kiara. Very well done. Coming in.
That was at 39 minutes.
SJB, we've had 3 finishers so far. Alejandro, Kristen, and then Kiara.
And Enemy is done.
And Enemy is done. Yay! Congratulations! Fantastic job.
Awesome. Within the same minute as Kristen. I'm sorry, within the same minute as Kiara. So also around the 39-minute mark. Okay, let's check out Iris and Rowan.
Kristen, Rowan.
Okay.
Always wonderful puzzlers to see.
So we just crossed 40 minutes. So 4 finishes on sub 40. That's really impressive. And Hannah is closing in. Danica is done. Well done, Danica.
Congratulations.
So first place, Alejandro. 10 seconds later, Kristen. 5 minutes later, Kiara, very quickly followed by Anime, and then 1 minute later, Danica and Victor. So top 6. So Victor takes the top 6.
Hannah coming into the wrap up here only has a handful of pieces left. She grabs a bunch and is just going to try to place them exactly where they go. And this is where once you have things boxed in, it doesn't really matter what you pick up because it has to go into one of the spots that's remaining so you can really blitz that last chunk. Gets that one more in, has to fight it a little bit.
Come on, Hannah and Tobias, you're like 5 pieces left. Who's it going to be? Hannah or Tobias?
Hannah or Tobias. Oh man, Tobias very methodical. Hannah blitzing through. She's at the keyboard. She takes that one. Well done. Congratulations.
So Hannah,
Tobias, push,
minute.
push. There he is.
Yeah, so also like 10-15 seconds between Hannah and Tobias. Very close, very fast tonight. Well done. And yeah, let's see who else is around.
Congratulations.
Vicky must be close. Yes, here we go.
Yeah, Vicky.
Oh, Inga.
And this is always fun because you're going to see typically there's puzzlers will finish in waves, sort of in terms of groupings, which is pretty phenomenal. You'll see first, second place usually a couple standard deviations ahead of the next big group of people.
And Rowan is done. Congratulations.
One wraps up.
Another top 10 finish for Rowan.
No, this is really phenomenal. Vicky's almost done here. Just has to push a little bit more. Ellen's right there with her. They're gonna go piece for piece,
Ellen,
coming into the
Vicky.
finish line. Got 1, 2, one more piece in.
Ellen. 3
Come
seconds before Vicky.
Oh.
Congratulations. So we're at 42 minutes and we've had like, what, 9 finishes now? Let me check that. So Victor was number 6. So Victor was number 6. Hannah 7th. Tobias 8th. Inga 9th. Rowan 10th. Helen 11th. Vicky 12th. And we're only at 43 minutes.
So just fun things to think about is that last year in the World Finals, there were only 2 people that were able to get a 500-piece puzzle completed in under 40 minutes. And now there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 that were able to get it under 40 minutes in this case. And that's just of the people that are competing on this call. So the top field is going to be tighter and tighter going into the worlds, and I hope that they have enough volunteers to try to keep an eye on everybody and get those times squared away.
There we go. Jess Esther is Iris, and she is taking 13th.
Congratulations! And really, just putting up a really strong time here is a huge accomplishment. I know sometimes not getting the placement you want doesn't always feel great, but when you're putting up times that a year ago were considered the top first place times, you're moving into that category little by little, if not already there. Sarah doing a fantastic job there. Becca Taylor almost finished. Has has maybe 2 handfuls of pieces to wrap up here. Just has to keep that physical speed going. Usually after about 30 minutes or so, that fatigue starts wearing in, even in the best of cases. So it's always tricky to keep that physical pace going for the whole 40 minutes. If you think about Olympic sprinters, they're only keeping that speed going for a relatively short amount of time. And puzzling sort of alternates that weird space between being a marathon and a sprint simultaneously. Looks like Sarah's doing a really good job. Maggie's also wrapping up here, has maybe about 60 pieces remaining. Yeah, so many people being able to finish up in under 45 minutes is just bananas. We know that the entire field is sort of shifting, shifting faster and faster and faster over time. So this is just getting closer and closer. This should be an Olympic sport, possibly. There's a lot of variables that might make it difficult to be an Olympic sport. But if it gains enough favor, who knows? At one point, chess was an Olympic sport, so there's a non-zero chance of that.
Oh, and Saka from Czechia is only a handful of pieces away, and Rebecca squeezes in, struggling to write the comment. Come on, Rebecca, there we go.
Congratulations, Becca.
Oh, excellent. So Rebecca is in 14th.
Congratulations, and with a very, very respectable sub 47 minute time. That's just wonderful. And Tarkov finishes. Oh yeah. No, being able to get these puzzles done in under 47 minutes, under the 50-minute mark. A couple of years ago, the fast people were all in the mid 40s, upper 40s, and now it's shifted down by that much. So everybody's just getting faster and faster as people practice more, get more comfortable with different strategies, adapting to what they do well. You can see here, Alexandra doing a really, really good job. Has a handful of splotches across the puzzle that need to get filled in. But because of the way that it's set up there, she's going to be able to have that sort of zipper effect where she won't have to do a lot of fighting into the middle or out towards the outside. She's just going to be able to zipper through by shape pretty quickly, which is fantastic.
So I think it's and Maggie.
Oh, did we miss Maggie?
So she was on screen. I was just distracted. But then I saw her finish puzzle. So well done. So after Iris was Rebecca, then Saka, and Maggie.
Congratulations, Maggie.
So Maggie comes in at 16th, which is an excellent result considering the caliber of the puzzles we have today.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really the time. Just getting your clock time down and doing your best there. That's an achievement in itself, right? Like you think about a lot of the Olympic athletes. 90% of the time they are shooting to do their best and just represent themselves and their country whenever they're there. And the rankings just turn out to be the rankings.
So Alejandro, if you were there, could we have a quick chat?
Sometimes Zoom calls are a little like a seance. You have to, are you with us? Can you hear us? Are you in the room? And Katrin wraps up. Congratulations.
Alejandro, are you there?
Oh yes, sorry. I was arguing with my grandparents and I am here.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Such a close competition today.
Yeah, it was.
Are you sweating from that? Yeah. So, are you familiar with this puzzle? Have you done this one before?
Not with this puzzle, this just with this brand. So I believe I've done one or two Schmidts. But this puzzle was new and really nice, I believe. A beautifully much.
Mm-hmm. So, what made you go for the colorful flags? It looked like you were piecing together the
Yeah,
flag.
maybe the most colorful part are these flags with the same color and pattern, so they are really easy to find them. And then yeah, you start doing the left part of the puzzle, which is also really easy. And then I start with the flags and with all parts with that there are some details, but most of them are jigsaw, so it's more easily to take the 6, 7, 10 pieces that maybe correspond to a specific area and assemble them.
It's funny because you did it in the exact opposite order that I did it. I left the flags to the last. For some reason, I was a bit intimidated by them because they have the similar texture. And the second and third time I did it, I realized you can actually see the structure because you have like the string running across the top. So you can place them depending on the angle of the string. But at first I was like, okay, I just left all those to the end. And also this pink border, which you did first, the pink and purple.
Yeah.
I also left it to the end. And once I did it, I was like, oh, this is so easy. And the second and third time I did it, I started there. So the process, I figured out that that was a good order to start with. But you were able to do that from the first moment.
Thank you. Yeah, the flags has, and they're a little bit difficult because, of course, there are too many pieces with small details, some of them, and there are 3 at least for each one. So it's difficult to assemble them, but it's as you say, no, once you have more or less all the flags individually assembled, it's easy to assemble all of them together because are side by side.
Mm-hmm. So something I've been wanting to ask you is, like, you have a very specific way of doing it. You always stand up, do speed puzzle, and you always bend over. Do you get backache?
No, not really, because I only do this for contests. So at my home, I do the puzzles relaxed at the chair, and I only when I finish maybe a 500 piece puzzle that it's maybe really difficult and I need to spend more than 40, 50 minutes, then I have that. So that problems.
You just do it so fast that the pain doesn't have time to set in. That's the real trick.
Yeah, I think if it's like speed puzzling for 90 minutes bent over, then that's when it's like, oh, it's really
No, it's I cannot do this in teams in pairs with 1,000 piece puzzle because otherwise I will have a lot of pain at the middle and I believe it's not the point.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any stretches or exercises that you do before you prepare for a competition? Or like do you have certain...
No, not really. Physically, I don't do anything. I only try to be relaxed, try to think about other things, to not be so much nervous and maybe make you can be a disadvantage. But I don't do any exercise in particular.
Okay, so the trick is to bend over, get really close, but be done in 40 minutes and
Yeah.
How much did it help you having your grandparents cheering you on?
Well, today it's I believe the first time that they have been near to me.
Well, thank you everybody for joining me on the live stream. There's quite a lot of you. I did it under an hour, so I'm still pretty happy with my time. I don't think I remember the last time I've done the Schmidt puzzle. So this was fun. I haven't seen this image before. That's a drawback when you do the European competitions, that they may have seen them before, but still, it's good to stay in practice, and till next time, happy puzzling.